guys, Adam Fennig here with Fennig Equipment. You're tuned into the Talking Shed. Today, we're going to go over the components of a fast A26 60-foot liquid applicator. I'm going to turn this around and we'll go through how this thing's set up. So on this applicator, 60-footer, it's got a nice hydraulic hose key. So it tells you what does what. There are 3 hydraulic hoses required on this unit. And then there is your ISO plug to run the rate controller. Up there is the rate controller located. That's mounted whenever you get the applicator. From there, right here is your orifice holder. So you give this thing a quarter turn. You can see your orifice sitting in there, and that is what controls your rate. Your check valve for the unit is located right here. That stops the dripping whenever you let it down. Right here is your wing down pressure. This is controlled right here with these hand thread valves. That is what puts down pressure on these wings. That one and this one to keep the unit in the ground when you're running. We're going to walk around the tractor here and get over to the section valves. So this one technically has 5 sections, but 3 of them are automatic. So there's your 3 section valves. The 5th section and the 1st section, which would be of course the far wings, those have a manual valve. If you would ever want to run this thing as a 40-foot applicator, you can do that. So there's the 5 sections, there's the 3 section valves, and of course your PSI gauge right there. We're going to go around here to the back and talk about the pump. Your gauge wheels will be set right there. Right here is where the pump's located. That's a wet seal pump. It has got a PWM on it. That PWM controls the hydraulic flow to the pump. It speeds it up and slows it down automatically as you change speed and rates through the field. Real handy. Here's your 3-inch fill. Of course, there's a sight gauge labeled hand wash. And right here is your strainer. And that's pretty much the gist of the components. The rest of the stuff we're going to talk about is up in the cab. So to fold the A26, it has a fold box. And so what you'll do is, on this one, it's our center lever, but you'll put that up in constant, and then that will allow you to fold everything. Main wings, field latches, flip wings. So that's how you're going to fold this thing going through the field. You pull up. The raise and lower for when you get to your ends and turn around and let down, that's going to be a separate lever. So for us, we have our pump here, the constant for the fold box here, and then the raise and lower on this one. So when you get to the end, you'll pull this one, it'll gull wing up, and then you let it down. Okay, so here we're at the hitch of the tractor, and we're going to walk through how everything gets hooked up. The hydraulics I'm not going to touch on a whole lot because we've got the chart. The red and the yellow go together. They are going to be the pump. The purple and brown go together. They're the hydraulic block. That is what's going to run the switch box. And then the orange and gray, that's your main lift, your gull wing up and down. That's what you'll hit when you come to the end of the row and fold up. From there, we've got our ISO plug. That'll plug into the back of your tractor into your ISO port. That's pretty simple. You plug this in and the Raven rate controller will. So up here in the cab, right here is your Raven A26 60. You're gonna click on that, and this is your main run screen. There's a lot of stuff going on here, but it's actually pretty simple. So we've got our preset rates. Rate 1, rate 2, rate 3. As you're going through the field, you can just click on those to change them. Our master button, master switch is on the floor. So you click that and it cycles it on and off. It shows your 3 sections right there. And we can change from manual to automatic. Of course, we're going to be on automatic. And then over here, it's your acres per hour running through the field, your total acres, how many gallons you have put out so far, how full it is. So we're going to run through some of this stuff. So here's our settings. All of this stuff is pre-set up already. So here's where we can change our 3 rates that we want to show up there. You know, if I wanted this to be a 25, you change that there. There are your current totals. So, you know, you've got your 3 sections. Those are going to turn on and off automatically if you've got that unlocked on your whatever screen you're using, John Deere 2630 or 4000. Here's a switch box that you can manually turn those sections on and off if you would like. Again, this thing is showing you everything. Here's going to be your target rate. This will be your actual rate. And again, you can go over here. The section setup is already done, so you won't touch that. Control valve setup, it's a PWM. All that is done. Rate sensor, that's on the flow meter, that's all done. Tank fill settings. So currently it's at 97 gallon, and you can obviously, as you fill, you plug in here how full it is. So if you go 2600, now it's telling us that we have a full tank, 100% full. So that's where you would change that. That's really it on the settings. This is your alarm, how soon you want it to alarm you if you're off target. Right now it's set at 20%. Again, here is where you change those presets, and we won't need into there. So that's pretty much the rundown of the Raven ISO rate controller in the cab.
So there, we're all the way down, in the down position, raising up. As you can tell at gull wings. Fold the tips in if you're wanting to do like 40 feet. Yeah. So now he's using the controller to fold the tips. So basically the one lever was to raise it up and down, and then we have our other lever in constant. And so now we're folding on our tips, and so now he will fold his wings in. So as you can see, it's doing that now. So now this is all through the control box with the valve that is in constant. So he is doing that. The first one would have been the switch all the way to the right, which would have been the fold tips, and then now he's doing the actual main fold. The center one is your locks. So once he gets it all the way down in the folded position, he will then activate the fold locks, in which you can see right there back behind the rate controller. If we zoom in here, right there, he will then activate the switch, and that will come down. And now he's got his wings locked in the locked position, and now we're ready for transport.